Willow.
Good evening, welcome to this Estates Committee meeting. The first item on the agenda is apologies for absence. We're expecting Councillor Chapel, but we have currently got apologies.
Well, I haven't signed it yet.
I haven't signed it, actually.
No,
So, apologies from Reb, or Councillor Brock, and Councillor Gray sends apologies as well. Are you happy to accept those? Good. Thank you. The second item is declarations of interest. Does anybody have any interest to declare, financially or otherwise? No.
Thank you.
If anything comes up, representation from interested parties. No one here today, unfortunately. Minutes of the previous meeting. We've been sent on the 24th of October. Have we looked at these and are we happy to accept them as they are?
I'm delighted. I wasn't here, so.
No, neither was I.
What's that?
Councillor Chester and myself were the only two people chair that were there. I have,
Present Val, Lisa, and Max.
Lisa came later, didn't she?
I have gone through them. I chaired the meeting in your absence, Chair, and I think they recalled what I remember of the meeting, so yes.
Brilliant. So you're happy to,
I can propose them.
thank you, Val, as,
I'll second them now.
thank you very much for that.
Oh,
Brilliant. Okay, that's that ticked off.
Do you need another pen, Val?
sorry?
Do you need another pen?
No, I've scribbled it into action, thank you. You're lurking in what of them were about to
Brilliant. Good. Okay. So, on to reports. These are all received, and we're going to talk about most of them, so we'll just go through this. So, to receive the INE report, receive the usual monthly property zone and space report, receive the monthly action plan, and to receive the 3 to 5 year maintenance action plan. So, we've received all of them. We're almost certainly going to talk about
We're
all
doing
of
the
them in
mass
one way.
receipt.
Yeah,
receipt,
yeah, just that's all right, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Just
checking.
No. Okay, so the first big one, Fletton House. To receive an update on the damage to the platform room floor and consider next steps, states to look at the floor before the decision is made, discuss and decide next steps. Okay, so we've just had a look at it. And you've looked earlier.
Yeah.
So everybody's had a good look, which is good. Thank you. What do people think? Doesn't seem like it's structurally unsound, or it's going to imminently cause somebody to fall through the roof. So, what do you think?
Who's going to go first? You or me?
You go for it.
Okay, sorry. Yes, I had a look earlier prior to the meeting. It seemed to me as though it didn't present any immediate danger. So in that sense, yes, it is uneven. Yes, there's giving the floor at places, and in the medium to longer term, we may wish to do something about it. What I am slightly confused about, though, is given that these were two separate rooms, it may be that trying to put it right is a lot more work than one might think, because they may have been at different levels anyway. I mean, there's a clear disjuncture where the two rooms would have met, or where there would have been a wall. And the other thing that I'm confused about, which was just mentioned by Councillor Clark, was insurance, and whether or not there was an insurance aspect to this that maybe you can expand.
I think it was mentioned last week before council, wasn't it? There's an insurance claim possible or in action for the
In action,
burn on the
yeah.
floor.
The gentleman who hired the room, he's had to go through his insurers, which I think initially he wasn't very happy about doing, but that's how it has to be according to our insurers. And I don't, because I wasn't sure when Emma asked me to put this back on here, I wasn't sure why it was even on here, because I thought, well, we're not even having to approve any kind of costs related to it. Although I think Emma said they are trying to limit how much they're going to pay out, and they won't, I don't think they'll pay out for the substructure, obviously. They will pay for the damage to the top layer. But if we want to take things further about what's underneath, then that will probably have to be at our own cost. Well, it will be at our own cost.
And it strikes me that the problem is, shall we say, underneath. But
Yeah.
I didn't, until you actually lift it up,
Lift it
just
up,
don't
yeah.
know what's in the pipe.
No.
Val?
Well, I once saw somebody going through a floor that looked all right, which wasn't funny.
No.
I'm wondering whether, you know, if you insure for travel and things, and medical insurance, if there's anything that changes, you're supposed to notify them. So have we notified our insurers? Has it got worse, or is it a case of it was always like that?
I think I've always noticed there's a dip there.
You have?
Yeah, always noticed there's a dip there.
So
So I just thought it was, I
always
thought it was
happening.
just bad workmanship that they
Right,
couldn't
so
be
if
bothered
it's
to level it
got
up
worse,
properly.
concerning.
We certainly saw it in August.
Yeah. I don't know whether I noticed it creak like it did when we were all just in there, but it might be because all of us were bouncing on it, and I don't know.
Well, that means it can't take so much weight, doesn't it? If it creaks,
Yeah.
when you put more weight on it,
Yeah,
you're changing the, I don't know, I feel slightly should we get a surveyor to have a look?
Potentially it is an option. Ian?
I would just say that, to me, the damage to the floor from the burn it's not affecting how the room is used.
No, it's not.
So it's cosmetic and needs repairing at some point, but it's not urgent. And the damage, the creaking, the hole, whatever it has in the floor, all over the floor, there's bumps and bumps
There
and
is,
ups and downs.
Yeah.
And it feels like you said as well, that it's just the way it was finished. And if you actually look at where the extension floor level is, it's slightly higher than the other layer.
yeah.
Yeah,
But then the other layer is the door level.
Mm.
So it makes you wonder if they just decided to leave the older floor as is.
Mm.
So that there was no step at the other end, which
Yeah.
makes sense. So having lived in oldish houses, and that floor must have been oldish when this was converted, it feels as if any slight give and creak or whatever is fine. And we just keep on
well,
watching
the
the creak
floors are
on
all the
it.
same age. The floor is actually all the same age.
This end and that end both the same age.
No, it can't be. It's an
I mean, that
extension.
room,
Yeah, the whole main room, but that end bit is an extension, so that'll be all new.
yes.
Yeah.
So it feels like it was just
But one would have thought if there was any reinforcement or issues with the floor when they were doing the refurb, that they'd have done the necessary
What
bits.
do you think so?
Is
Yeah.
there any
That's
way
what it should have been done.
we can check that?
Only by lifting the floor, I should imagine.
there's no paperwork or anything.
I can have a look, but it is in such a jumble.
Yeah.
It's, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see if I can have a look, locate
Refurbished on
anything.
by NOC, wasn't it? Or was
No, it was done, I think OTC.
Sorry, what do you think?
Who owns all the refurbishment? The town council?
Jeekins Weir were the main contractor
Yes,
that then
I mean, we have
subcontracted out to everybody else.
But we own, sorry, it wasn't when it was in NNC's hands, or was it done before it was handed over?
No, it was ours, wasn't it? Because it was at Fitz, is it Anne
Well, it was
Fitz?
the county council's for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
And it was not kept in a fit state.
I would say we keep a watching brief on it
Yeah,
and see how it develops over the next 12 months.
Can you go bounce up and down, maybe?
Jamie and I bounced on it.
Yeah, we did
And if it works under us, it's
No,
okay
you'll
for
know.
the moment. We give it a full stress test.
Yeah. Okay, so are we happy to move on from that?
I think so.
So are we saying that we're not even at this point going to bother with the repairs? We don't think it's worth claiming or putting the gentleman through the hassle of claiming at this point?
Have we had a specific quote? There's most of the burn marks are on one single strip of.
Yeah, well, I think the chap that's quoted is quoted for the whole floor being replaced. I think it's something like £16,000.
Yeah, and I don't think we can justify.
And I don't think they'll pay out for that anyway. I think from what Emma said, from what I remember, I think they sort of offered or tried to make an offer of about 1,000 to get it repaired.
Okay, have we got a quote saying that someone can repair that single?
No, not yet.
So is it worth getting a quote to see if someone
But-
can?
What I'm worried about with this quote is that if you look at it, it's got essentially a laminate top to it.
Mm.
And I think that quote is about essentially replacing that laminate
Mm.
top.
Mm.
That won't solve any of the unevenness.
Oh,
or-
no.
With two issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we've got to decide whether we're going to accept
Do we need,
a payment
are
from.
we going to worry about those marks? I don't think.
They look too bad, and like Ian said, they're not altering.
Modelling cosmetic.
Exactly. I think they add character.
Petite.
Over the years, there's going to be other scrapes.
Yeah.
So if we have to, if the risk is we make a claim and then end up having to replace the whole floor, it's not worth it.
No,
Can I just check, sorry to prolong this. So what is that room actually used for primarily?
you've got Bridge who use it a couple of times a week. You've got Magic Cats who are extra educational.
So the fact that the floor has got, I'm estimating 20 burn marks in a relatively small area of the floor is not going to affect anything that
No,
no
It's a
one's going to
sewing
suddenly
class.
say, oh, we can't hire that.
no,
room
there's a
because
sewing
of
class.
that."
The only people that are on the floor we have a stretch and relax and a yoga class in there occasionally.
It's not going to affect us
No.
in making use
No,
and hiring that room out.
Not
in
at
which
all,
case then it's cosmetic or.
On the Lit Fest and people,
yeah,
there are chairs all over.
yeah.
Yeah, chairs
Yeah.
and tables cover the room. Fine.
Okay.
Watching brief, move on.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, the next item, discuss blinds, awnings, roller shutters for the windows on the south side of that house, starting with the clerk's office and Barnwell room beside next steps. This is something you.
Yeah, go ahead. It's a conversation that came out of a conversation in here, I think, back in May or June. Councillor Jones was raising the issue of we use the hub as a warm space. Should we also, if the weather's going to keep getting hotter, offer flat houses as a cool space? And his idea was that we've got air conditioning, but we haven't. So that's ruled out the window. But out of that
There is
conversation,
the Dratthorne room, I think, isn't there?
no, it's
isn't
just
there?
a hot air
The one
conditioning.
also.
This is supposed to be an air recycling
Well,
thing, but
yes,
it doesn't,
that's
it's not. It's not effective. It doesn't do anything.
That's what I think.
Anyhow, the point was, Lisa, can you get the supporting documents up? And can we get a link working? Because if you see this, it will save us all time. And it will save me. Anyhow, the idea is that we have a south-facing side of the building here, and when it gets really hot, the sun beats in and everything gets really hot. So we're not really a cool place at all. Having grown up in Australia, the essence of everything in all the buildings in Australia is you stop the sun getting into the building, so you have some sort of shade cloth, whatever it happens to be. And somewhere on one of those documents, it's going through very fast, there's a link. There's a company that, it's not a declaration of interest, but my mother has used, who have fitted a number of different shade things to her house, but much more effective than the temporary ones I put into my house. And one of them seemed like an ideal solution. I'm just trying to watch it.
Sure, so it should be further up, I'd have thought.
I think it was quite hard to pass it anyhow.
I don't remember seeing it.
No, it was just a link, and I was hoping we could get some quotes for it, but It's
It's
on,
there, it's on this page,
It's
isn't it,
it's on this
somewhere?
link here, there we go. Yeah,
so if you look at the commercial products vertical cassette lines, if you can just turn it, oh no, it's gone again.
Hang on, turn it round, can I turn this round? I don't
Well,
think I
do you
can.
want to read it out? You could type it in.
Yeah.
Or you just, because I'm not sure it's.
Oh no, hang on, I'll tell you
It's
what I'll
not
do,
got
if I
hyperlink
do,
there, is
yeah.
No.
If you actually bring
Yeah,
your email
do it
up,
that
it
way.
might be helpful.
15th of November.
15th of the 11th.
Yeah, 909. That's a line from the Beatles song.
Is it?
Travelling on
Here we go.
909.
No,
Quotes.
What song is that one?
Quotes.
What song is that?
this one, I've got it.
It's on.
So which one do you want, the Samson awnings?
It's in Abbey Road. It's actually a very early song, but they only recorded it very late.
So these are devices that it's just shaved off, and it has a motorised unit that you can power by hand, or you can have an electric motor, depending how lazy you are, and they sit on the outside of the window frame, and when it gets sunny, you can just pivot them, and they come down, and they prevent the sun coming into the building.
Okay.
So it's a way of heat-proofing buildings.
So when it snows,
You wouldn't put them down in the snow.
you wouldn't put, no, I mean, do they just roll up?
Yeah, they're German, so they're
But I
very
mean, are
wide.
they?
Yeah, no, so you roll them down when it's sunny, you
Oh,
roll them back
yes.
up, yeah. So you roll them back up into the cassette when
And
it's
then-
snowing.
Are they suitable for places that get weather
Yes.
as opposed to
Well-
Australia where they probably don't?
These are German.
No, these are
apparently.
German, and that device has been fitted now for the last 6 years,
Right,
and it's survived all weathers.
right,
But the point is, you don't need external access to shut them.
yeah,
You don't need anything, they just sit there, and when you pull them down, there's no wind issue or anything like that, like the ones that go out have.
Oh yeah, big bounce problems.
So all I was suggesting, before we get to the budget stage, that's what the email was about, a request from the finance committee about seeing if our budget next year was sorted.
yeah.
If we got Samson awnings out to come and give us a quote for the windows in your office and the Barnwell rooms, because they're the two rooms that don't
It's
have,
very
and
hot.
they don't have a north-south
No, yeah.
opening windows.
Yeah.
If they work, we can look at different solutions for rooms downstairs like the hub, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But let's find out how much they cost.
Okay,
To see. And the idea was being that it would then help us,
set the budget for,
set the budget and also climate changes. One of the reasons to get them out is they go up to an enormous size, 6 metres wide. So it might be that one blind could do 2 or 3
I'm
windows.
just thinking about them for
I don't know how you'd fit it though, because then it wouldn't fit in the recess like it shows in these windows,
They can put them out slightly,
can they?
so they have a tray, a little rail on each side.
Right,
And they just run down the rail, so they could fit effectively on the brick wall on the inside of
okay,
2
yeah,
or 3 windows, and then cover up all 3 windows with one go, I suspect.
right. Because I would imagine that'd be a cheaper way of doing 3 separate ones and then a fourth one, because we've got a side one, haven't we, as well?
Yeah.
So it'd be 4 on each room. Okay, I could get some quotes on that.
So that was my suggestion, we get them out to come and have a look at the windows and give us some quotes.
David's just coming.
Ah, that's all right then.
That sounds really good, actually, really positive. Cool. Because it is stupidly hot now, isn't it? You spent
It
money.
is, yeah.
And it also sets
Hello,
the principle
David.
up of us defending ourselves against heat as well as cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not having to have fun.
We're
So,
not following to the agenda.
Right, the next item, discuss new notice boards being installed at the front of the house to improve costs. Now we've got in the pack thing supporting documents, there's a few.
So this came out of when we went round at the end of August, and one of the suggestions that we talked about on the grand tour the year before was moving the little notice board from the west wall of Fletton House round to the door here, so it's more obvious. Because at the moment, it's sort of either one thing or another.
Yeah,
And we were talking at the end of August about actually having a bigger notice board under the electric notice board just here for display of agendas, items like that. So that people coming in out of the library can see it. It came out of the finance meeting earlier in November, and I was having a quick look at the idea of using recycled plastic. It meets our eco agenda, it meets our not being repainted again agenda. I didn't even know they existed, and they do.
Yeah.
So it's just, do we like the idea of better notice boards, more visibility in better places? And really it's getting a quote either to spend in this year's budget or to factor into next year's budget.
Which we have
Yes, sir.
plenty left in the budget still,
Okay.
and they work out at 1,046, the AO size for two. We've got room for two underneath the electronic notice board downstairs.
So there's a figure on here of 1046.
Yeah.
Which is, you've highlighted it, the A0.
Yeah,
With a single door. I'm not quite sure.
You can have ones- those that are pictured a single door. I can't see the point in having double doors, to be fair, because
The whole thing out.
if you've got double
Oh, I
doors,
see.
you take some of the space
It's
up.
not weatherproof.
Yeah, and you take space up. You have to put your posters a certain way because you've got a. So I think the AO without the double doors are the best. Two of those I think would be the best. Keep the one that's on the side wall there for all of our insurances and things that have to stay up all the time, and then the front ones can be purely for agendas and any
Now, because
information.
I noticed the other day, we do actually have one next to the toilets.
We do,
Toilets at
yeah.
the
It's
top.
always really full though as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who puts things in there or takes things
we
out?
do.
You do.
Yeah, we do. It used to be worse than it is now because the co-op didn't have their notice board,
Yeah.
but they've got one now,
Yeah.
so it is a little bit better. But that one does get really crammed with stuff, lots and lots of stuff, and it's quite difficult to juggle them. The same as it is with the ones at the Queen Victoria Hall. We have to juggle those around quite a bit, but it's definitely good. And that one there, I don't know what it's made of. It feels like it's made of rock because you can't get drawing pins in it. You almost break your fingers trying to get things pinned to it. So that would be good as a fixed one that has just got yearly, annual stuff in, and then the one at the front would be very handy for the agendas and everything.
I mean, given the amount that's currently sitting in Glenhouse budget for this current year,
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure I see the logic of bestowing it.
No,
We're not
I
taking
don't.
any currently.
No, I don't.
Okay, sounds like a proposal to me, mate. Okay.
If I've read the note correctly, you've got over 15k sitting
Yeah.
in the budget.
That's why the
Um,
surveys for the roof
which is-
surveys have appeared for approval as well, because I thought they'd come in at higher than that.
Yeah.
And when I saw the price of them, I thought, well, they need to go on and get approved straight
Yeah.
away, really.
Absolutely.
They need doing.
So the budget's not particularly under pressure at the moment.
Not for this,
so
no.
it would be a good time to
Yeah.
do it.
It's got to be
What
used.
size in it?
2,000.
So if we approve two of these,
Oh, yeah.
we're in the budget. What if we approve two individually? If Max
So they
says,
allow us to do.
I don't think that's appropriate.
No, well, what we can,
Yeah,
what we can do is, we can do it as a recommendation to full council. Unless Emma says to me, oh, for that amount, that's fine. I think your budget has to stay at 2,000,
so
plus
is
that, yeah.
is
So if
it
we do-
worth us
Well-
approving one tonight?
Yeah, you could do,
Because
Yeah,
then at least we
approve one
yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
and then if we like it in
Yeah.
January, we can approve it.
Another one, yeah, okay, approve one, yeah.
Because there is VAT on the price as well, don't forget.
So
Yeah, but
proceed.
your limit is 2,000 without VAT. You don't
No,
need
it's
to,
not
because
without
it's two, it's without VAT.
We can get a discount from them,
Okay,
not
so
£46 off each.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So-
Two.
if I say Ian proposed,
Well, Max.
One.
proposed.
or Max,
I do.
Max, who
Max.
seconds?
I'll second.
Ian,
And we'll vote on that, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
excellent.
You're abstaining, David.
I'm not
He's
entirely
not-
sure whether I should be voting.
He's not on the committee, so,
Can I just ask a question?
yeah.
if Lisa was able to do a very good deal with Fitzpatrick Warner, and they were able to offer us two at £1,999,
Mm.
Then we give her authority to order up to that.
Okay.
because that would be an incentive for them to get pre-Christmas delivery. So do we need to vote on that again?
The Black Friday.
No, I'll
deal.
take it in that last one too. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll see.
Right. Okay, good. Right, next, approved costs for roof survey. Go for it.
I've got a question. Is this per roof or total?
Total. I
Can
found.
I propose it?
Hey, he's got his documentaries.
We know we
It's
need
gotta
the
be
roofs
done.
to be inspected.
Yeah, we do.
We've got the money in the budget,
Yeah.
and it would be foolish to put it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we, just for the purposes of,
Please do.
just, what is your full proposal on it?
My full proposal is to approve the costs for the roof surveys on Flat House, the Courthouse, QBH, and the Jones Strong Centre at £1,800 total, as in the documents. I'm going to get it done as soon as possible.
Okay, so Max, you can,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I
Max
agree.
will second. I agree on that. Good. Next, approved costs for external painting of all doors.
And you can't because I still haven't got them in. I did chase him and he said definitely, and they've not arrived. So, but I have a feeling they may be over your budget anyway, so you may see them appear on
Did you
full
know
council.
dispensers?
So we carry that forward.
Yeah, carry that forward.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
December's not a good time to paint doors.
No, I mean, we'd probably be looking at arranging it for springtime anyway.
Just in terms of our ability to approve, is it worth seeing if he, since he hasn't done quotes, could quote in bite-sized chunks?
Of 2,000 each.
Well, yeah, so maybe a couple of doors, and then a couple of doors. Just a thought.
No,
Speed the
well,
process up.
yeah. I think we'll just wait for the quote and then recommend it to, because we know that he's going to be reasonably priced because he's the one that we've used before and he's always come in very competitively. So,
This is the guy that did the toilets.
pardon?
Guy that did the toilets.
Yeah.
Right, then in workshop and properties.
Do you, sorry, just to interrupt, do you want to take the last item now? So I don't know how time sensitive it is.
Suit me.
Yeah,
Just
so he
finish
doesn't
that.
have to.
Yeah.
Let's all vote against that.
Thank you, Stay.
I'll get one. Please.
Yeah, so if we go to the Fletton Field one at the end, Jamie, that's going to be in,
23.
Do we have to close the meeting and then?
yeah,
Okay.
So you need to read that.
Okay, yeah, so please note that in view of the special and or confidential nature of the business about to be transacted, it is advisable in the public interest that the public be temporarily excluded and they are instructed to withdraw. I'll propose that. Seconded.
Yeah.
All in favour?
Right. bear with.
You should be able to actually point at people and say, withdraw.